Hi everyone, my name is Deepthi. Welcome back to my channel, a place where you can learn at your own pace. So in today's video, we will do the reading section and the question type that we are going to focus on is matching headings. Now this is one question type that most of the students find difficult and time consuming. This is one question type that will come before the passage starts and you will be given some headings which you have to match against each paragraph. So what are the strategies of solving this particular question type? That is what we are going to discuss in the video today. For the purpose of this video, I will use book 13. I have taken reading test 1 of book 13 and the section is 3. The third section I'll be focusing on. Now, even though this book that I have taken is a general training version, but even academic test has similar question types. So this video will be useful to anyone who's taking IELTS, be it general training or academic. So let's understand a few strategies of what should be done to solve this particular question type. The most important thing to remember is to read all the options carefully. Now, let us say there are 6 paragraphs and obviously there are going to be more number of options available. So till the time you don't read all the options carefully, till the time you don't understand all the options carefully, it will be very difficult for you to solve this question type. So make sure you read all the options that are given to you carefully before you start reading the paragraphs. The second thing we need to keep in mind is we can highlight the keywords. Now, if you're doing the paper-based version, it's easy to highlight. But if you're doing the computer-based version or if you're solving a test online, in that case, have a pen and paper ready so that you can write the important words and focus on them. Also, as you get to the keywords, some of them may be complicated. So just to simplify them, you may want to paraphrase those keywords or put it in a different word so that obviously most of the times you will see the same words may not be repeated, right? So in that case, we need to understand that you should know that the keyword can be presented in the passage in a different way also. Then the next important strategy to keep here in mind is to identify similarities and differences in the options that are given to you. Now, when there are similarities, there may be slight differences in those similarities also. A part of the options can be similar to each other, can have the same meaning, or same words may be used, or some same dates, same figures can be used. So based on that, you have to see how two options are different from each other or in what ways can they be similar to each other. That will help you identify the key idea that the paragraph, each respective paragraph is going to bring with it in the passage. After you have done this kind of analysis of the options that have been given to you, you start reading the passage, but make sure you don't read the passage all together. Go paragraph by paragraph. So read paragraph A first, then look at the options, identify, then paragraph B, look at the options, identify the correct choice. This is how you're supposed to proceed. You have to find the main idea of each paragraph. Don't get too much into the specific details of the paragraph. Stick to the main idea of each paragraph, and based on that main idea, you will be able to identify the correct option. One choice may have, same words that are repeated in the paragraph exactly. So one particular word is coming in the choice also, and the same word is coming in the passage also, or in that paragraph also that you are reading. But you just don't have to match the words. You have to match the idea. So rather than focusing on same words, focus on same idea. And that is how you will be able to reach the correct answer choice. So here the game is about the idea and not about the words. Then obviously there's going to be just one correct answer choice, and that is exactly what you have to focus on. The wrong answer choice may not give you a complete idea of the passage, of the paragraph. So it will not give you the main idea, but it will give you a slightly twisted idea of that paragraph. So we have to be sure we don't get into that trap. Now, the number of paragraphs and the number of headings don't match. The total number of paragraphs may be 7 and the total number of headings may be 9. So in this case, we see that the headings are more than the number of paragraphs that you are supposed to identify headings for. So some headings would not be used. We need to understand this. This is something really important. This task is time consuming, so make sure you are saving few extra minutes for this task, especially in the beginning when you start practicing, or maybe you want to split your time, the 1 hour that you get for reading, in such a way that you spend more time on the passage in which these question types are reflected. So let's see how what we discussed can actually be applied to a real test. Like I told you, this test has been taken from book 13 and this is the first test and we are focusing on the third section here. And as you can see, the questions pertaining to heading question type, they are present before the passage starts. So this is where the passage starts and we can see just before the passage, the questions are given. Now, for each question in IELTS that you do, be it reading or listening, make sure you read the set of instructions clearly. Now, many times I've seen that students do these questions and they do it based on the previous passage. Now, this is, something that is confusing and that is why I'm bringing this to your notice again. You will always see either section 3 or passage 3 written here, okay, or whatever is the number of the passage. And then the text on pages, see, this is clearly mentioned, or the forthcoming text has 9 paragraphs. You have to choose correct heading for each paragraph from the list of headings given below. So there are these headings given here and this is the list. Write the correct number. Read these instructions very carefully. They are so important. Now you don't have to write the whole heading. You have to write any one number that is mentioned here in the answer sheet. Okay. So please don't end up writing the whole thing. It's just any one of these numbers that you're supposed to write. It may be an alphabet, it may be a number, but usually you'll find numbers because alphabets, they already have given alphabets to paragraphs, right? So this number, this particular small Roman numeral is what you are supposed to fit in or put in the answer box in which you will write the answer. And these options will be used for question numbers 28 to 36. So these instructions are crucial. They will determine your score. Make sure you don't miss out on any of these. So let's move to, now see, against each question number, the alphabet of the paragraph has been written. Now these paragraphs we will read one by one, okay? Now what did we say a few minutes back? What we were discussing is read the options carefully and identify the keywords. And also you are supposed to understand how they are similar or different, okay? So let us see, let us go through that. And here it is talking about some different sources of supplies. So various is different, which means coming from different sources. Sources is the origin. And what do we mean by supplies is something like it can be a grocery supply, or it can be food related, or any supply. Then effects of going outside. So going outside can be you are in a place. So it can be like in a hall, in a building, in a vehicle, in a room, and you're going outside. So outside basically means in the nature, or outside a human constructed environment. So what is the effect? What is the impact of that? Then it's talking about a place, it seems. So Oymacon is the name of the place. Okay. And it's talking about the past of that place and the present of that place. Now, usually when I see places in the passage, I don't really get into the pronunciation of that place time and again, because some pronunciations may not be familiar to us. So what I just will do here, a small strategy that you can also adopt, is I'll just say there's a place named O. So the past and present of O is being discussed. Okay. A contrast in the landscape. Now, landscape is obviously talking about the natural setting. So there is some kind of contrast that is there, which means either it is beautiful or ugly. So contrast would mean some opposite things are coming into picture. Now, fifth point is talking about some animals that can survive in the cold. So which means they can tolerate the extreme cold weather. Then the sixth point is talking about how O is affected by its location. So wherever O is located, there is some impact on O of that location. Keeping out the cold. So how you are preventing cold or keeping out the cold, that is what I figure out as of now. So how you can stay away from the cold, or how you can keep away from the cold. So here, staying away and cold, they become important. Not the only challenging time of the year. So it is saying not the only challenging time of the year, which means other times of the year are also challenging. Then the next point is talking about something that is better than its reputation. So which means what others think of, it is better than that. Then few facilities, and we are here just talking about buildings. So there is focus on buildings where the provisions or the facilities are not many. Then the last point is talking about a place which has more snow than anywhere else in the world. So which means you can say the snowiest place in the world or something like that. Okay. So I don't see too many similarities here, and not too many contrasting points also. So facilities and supplies can be something that you may get confused with. And some similarity I see here is it's talking about the past and the present here. And it is also, one point is also talking about what is the location. Okay. Then landscape perhaps can be, seen with location. So these kinds of similarities and differences I can identify, though there is nothing that is too contrasting or too close in this particular passage. Why I have chosen this passage is because there are quite a few questions. So if you look at here, so you can see almost 9 questions are there, and that is the reason why I have chosen this particular paragraph. Okay. This particular passage, I mean. Okay, so let's start with the next tip, that was to read one paragraph at a time. So I'll move to the passage now. So this is my passage. And when you read paragraph A, what you see is, you don't need something to drive to this particular place, and the journey, how hard it is, and it took the duration of the journey is talking about 2 days. And what was seen was glistening landscape, frozen rivers, and untouched snow, which is all talking about how cold this place is. And it's also saying how beautiful this place is. That is another thing, breathtaking beauty it is talking about, right? And then the coldest, it's talking about the coldest inhabited place on earth. Inhabited is a place where people live, right? And the beauty is surprising, so it means it's very beautiful. So again, you know, breathtaking beauty, beauty surprised me. And then a point comes where it is saying that Siberia isn't known for its pleasant appearance, which means people don't see it as a beautiful place usually. Now, when I read this, it strikes me that there was something related to the reputation of the place, which wherein there was a contrast. Okay, so I have, you know, that option coming into my mind right now. We will go back and see once we are done with this. And then it is also saying that it's a place of hardship, and so the rest is talking about you know, how it has changed. uh, so all these points we need to see here. And now when we go back, so basically it is talking about how beautiful this place is, because that point has come in uh, most of the sentences in this paragraph, right? So now when we come here and when we look at the options, um, obviously supplies are not being talked about. There was no effect of, you know, the person has gone outside and the effect was then depicted. Then obviously it is also not talking about any past or present reference or a contrasting. There is no contrast in the landscape per se. But yeah, there is, you know, when you look at all the options and you shortlist them, you see that what point we discussed as point 9, that is coming out clearly here. So it's saying that it is better than its reputation, and that is why I have marked against paragraph A, the ninth option. So let's move to the second paragraph. Now here we can see that he's talking about he left the plain, and beneath the snow-clad peaks, slopes is being talked about, and the valley is deeper. Now some talk of landscape is again coming into picture here, like it was there in the first paragraph. And then it was immediately obvious. Okay, so here he's talking about the landscape, and we can clearly see that the slopes became steeper, valleys deeper, and there was a hot spring. Now, in such a cold environment, seeing a hot spring is slightly shocking. And then it was immediately obvious, because it was shrouded in heavy mist. Because against the snow, obviously, if there is some kind of you know, vapors coming up. And then trees emerge from a strange haze as ghostly silhouettes. Okay, so what we read here, and when we go back to the options that we have, um, the effect of going outside, again, it is not being talked about, no talk of supplies, no comparison, but yes, we see that there is a contrast in the landscape. Okay. So that option I would like to consider. Animals are not talked about. How the place is affected by its location, no talk of that. Keeping out the cold also, they are not talking about any prevention or anything, no challenges being talked about, or facilities or these kinds of things. So no. So I would stick to my choice that I worked along with. Now let's quickly go to para C, and we see that there is this word despite, which shows a contrast between two thoughts, and then they're saying this magical ambience its reputation. It's known for what? Its hardships. Now look, the word reputation is coming here and the word reputation is coming here as well. Okay, so don't get carried away when you see the same words appearing in options and in the paragraph. Okay, you can see that the term reputation has already been talked about in paragraph A in a different context. And so that is why I would not get into this trap. All right, fine. Now, let's move to the later part of the paragraph and see that hardship hit me every time that I climbed out of the vehicle. So now he's saying that every time he moved out of the vehicle, there was some problem he faced. Okay. And what was this problem? He's talking about the skin on the face seemed as if it was burning. And even though he was wearing gloves, he had this numbness in his fingertips, and then he couldn't breathe too deeply because that would suffocate him or make him cough. And so he's saying Siberia is a place which is not fit for habitation by humans. And even multiple layers of clothing made the cold bite him. Okay, so all this is being talked about. Now what we see is he climbed out of the vehicle. The author climbed out of the vehicle, and that is what he faced, right? So, which means it's talking about moving out of a place. And you remember we just discussed this point, and this quickly gets me to point 2, where we have talked about how the weather affected when the person moved outside, right? So the effects of going outside, the only option that I could relate to when I read this paragraph was number 2, because the whole paragraph is talking about what was the impact of stepping out of the car. So let's quickly go to number D. Now here again, it's talking about, oh, it's quite a little town and world's coldest. So it is the coldest place where there are these many inhabitants. Okay. Now, when I read the world's coldest, I also see here it was talking about more snow than anywhere else in the world. Now, there is a difference between having more snow and being the coldest place. Okay, so let's not jump into conclusion just in case you remember this at this point in time. And it says it has its own power station, a school, only 2 shops, and a small hospital. It probably originated as a seasonal settlement. Okay, so this is how it came into being. So now what is this paragraph D trying to tell us is there are not too many things available, and it's the world's coldest place, and there are very few people who live here, and all that is mentioned. Now here, when we look at all the options, again, nothing about supplies is being talked about. Is it the past and present into reference? Oh yes, something about past was mentioned when they said that how it originated, how the whole thing originated. So today they have shops, school, power station, and a hospital, but it started as a seasonal settlement where reindeer herders spent their summers on the bank of a particular river. Okay, so this shows me that yes, something about past and present is being talked about. So I may want to consider this. Now let me go to other options also. Animal surviving, not talked about. Location, not talked about. It's just a river that they are talking about, not the exact location. Keeping out the cold, no, that is not talked about. Challenging time of the year. Very few facilities, but it is talking about facilities in buildings. So again, this is not something that I can consider because it is talking about very few facilities in the city. And then more snow, right? So there is no other option that can clearly go here except for point number 3. Okay, so that is what I will mark. Now you must be wondering why am I going on circling the options. Now you see, when I started, I was going through all the options. Now, the moment I have circled a few options, my points get fewer. Now, these circles actually show me which points I don't have to look back to again when I'm doing new paragraphs. And this makes my task so much easier, right? So that is why identifying these points and, circling them or maybe cutting them out is a good choice to make. Okay, let's quickly go to E. Now, E is talking about the temperature, which was minus 45 degrees, and it is not particularly cold. That is what he was told by people who were living there, perhaps. And there are other records of low temperatures. And why? Now, it is giving us reason why. So, it's saying it is far from the ocean. So, the effect of air temperature gets moderated, and it's talking about the town is in the valley, and it is below a general level of the plateau, and then it is talking about all sides it is covered by mountain. It's talking about the height, and this is how the cold air sinks. It gets accumulated in the valley, and then there is no wind to disturb it, and that is how the temperature goes to minus 50 in January. So all these details are being talked about. So what I see here is it is telling me that how the location of this place is impacting the temperature or making this place cold. So when I go back to the options, I remember something talking about like what is the reason why this place is cold. So I suddenly think of point 6 here, how this place is affected by its location. So the whole location details were talked about, the height, the distance from the ocean, and it being in the valley, the wind gets trapped. So all these points are mentioned here, and this is how we get to the next answer, which was number 6. Okay, now let's quickly go to para F. So now I've come to the second page here. Then it's talking about the day-to-day life. Then there are certain challenges, especially during winters, which are long. So there are hardly any modern household conveniences. And to get water also, they have to use a sledge. They get giant ice cubes from the river, from the nearby river, and they keep it outside the house, and they melt these pieces when it is needed. So there's no running water. So problems with bath, showers, with the toilets. And then the school has, enjoyed the luxury of indoor toilets, but it was since 2008, which is, a recent change. And also it is talking about a small number of civic buildings that are linked to the power station. Okay, so all in all, it is talking about what kind of provisions, what kind of facilities we see inside. Okay, now if you remember, we talked about one point, which was very few facilities are available indoors or in buildings, and that was point number 10. Okay, so that is exactly what we are looking at here. And if you look at other options also, none of them is going or matching point number 10. Okay, so point number 10 is the closest to what I just read in para F. So let's go to G and see what it's telling us. G is talking about the power station that provides hot water, but the houses lie outside its range. So there are many houses that are not connected to the power station. This was mentioned in the previous paragraph also. So what do these people do? They get wood for burning the stove, and there is sufficient wood available as fuel. And then some have to venture out. So some people have to go far also. So everybody in this place owns good boots and hat, which are made up of animal fur and fur-lined mittens. Okay, so because it is very cold, this is what people have, and they are made of animal fur. The boots are made of reindeer hide. Okay, so another animal is being talked about. And it keeps the feet warm. Individual hairs are hollow like a thin tube. Okay. Okay, then it's talking about the conduction of heat. And then it's talking about how this fur makes perfect winter wear. And hats come from variety of furs, including fox, raccoon, sable, and mink. So these are the animals from where the material is uh, taken for making hats and other things that people wear here. Okay. Now here, one place where animal was mentioned is that animals that can survive in cold. Some of us may want to choose this option, but we are not sure if the animals are living in the same location, even though your GK may tell you, your general knowledge may tell you that these animals belong to the cold regions. But still, animals that can survive the cold, this particular point, if you have to focus on, this is not exactly what the paragraph is saying, right? So what option should we choose here? Um, this paragraph, the main idea is how people protect themselves from cold. And they have shown in the paragraph, they have written in the paragraph that they use the skin, the hide or the fur of particular animals to prevent the cold. And that is why prevention of the cold or keeping out the cold is going to be an appropriate choice to make here. Let's move to H, and then we have one more to go. So it's talking about two shops, only two shops are there, and they keep a stock of basic foods in tins and packets. They locals have the do it yourself options also. Like how do they get food? By hunting, by trapping animals, by fishing, breeding reindeers, breeding horses, and okay. And then what is their diet? They're talking about meat because it provides them protein, which is a primary source of energy in the long winters. And then the typical meal is, they have horse soups and horse meatballs. Okay. So this is what they are actually talking about, is where do they get the food from? Okay. So this is basically talking about the source of food. It can be from the shop, it can be by hunting animals, by breeding them, or by fishing and trapping them. So all in all here, it is talking about how food is, what is the source of the food. Okay. So when you look at the options, so various source of supplies. So this is a good option to choose. The others are animals that can survive in the cold. Now they are talking about animals, but again, they're not talking about survival of these animals. So that is not the main idea. It's an implied point. So we will not take this. Not the only challenging time of the day, and more so they don't make any sense here. So we will quickly write option 1. And then finally, going to the last paragraph of the passage, spring is the best season here. The snow melts, the river flows once more. Okay, so what happens in spring? And the forest is full of wildflowers, but it's short. So this is the time of the year, but it's short. And in summers, what happens is it can be uncomfortably hot. So it can suddenly become very hot. Forest becomes boggy, and then there are mosquitoes. And then the author is saying that it won't suit me, the climate won't suit me, but then the residents don't want to go to any other place. So which it is actually telling me that winters are challenging, but other seasons are also having their own challenges. So when I remember, there was something like not the only challenging time of the year. So number 8 is what I would definitely go for. And now you can clearly see we had 11 options for 9 questions, and these 2 options we have left. Okay, great. So this was a simple strategy, though not so simple. I mean, there were some technicalities in there, but I have tried my best to make it simple for you guys. So I hope you find this useful, and I hope you use this strategy for solving more questions like these. All the very best for your preparation. I hope you really do very well in your exams. I hope you found this video useful. So don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends. Also subscribe to my channel so that you never miss an update. And don't forget to press the notification bell so that every video is accessible. I hope you found these strategies useful. So don't forget to like my video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and press the notification bell so you never miss an update. If you're interested in taking online classes, one-to-one sessions, you can contact me on Instagram or Facebook.